to my channel. I'm so excited that you could join me for today's video. Today I will be talking about all of the prettiest books I own. So the 16 books that I will be showing you today are mostly special editions, and special editions just hold a special place in my heart, pun intended, even though I can't always afford to buy them. So let's get started. Okay, the first one is The Project by Courtney Summers. I actually DNF'd this book because I couldn't get into it for whatever reason, but it was a soft DNF because I want to come back to it at some point. I just don't think it'll be this year. It might be next year. But this is the Barnes & Noble special edition, and as you can see, it's got the red cover. The regular edition actually has a black cover, and the face is in red. And this kind of like switched that. I think it's beautiful, honestly. I wouldn't have kept it if I didn't think it was beautiful, but yes, I love this book. I think it's so pretty, and it does, I don't know if these end pages are special or not, but they do say you've been chosen, and then the back ones don't say anything. I think the end papers are super cool as well. And you might know Courtney Summers also wrote the book Sadie, which was received better than this one was. And like I said, I do want to give this a try again. I just don't think it's going to be until next year because I had such a bad experience trying to read it the first time. Okay, the next book is a Barnes & Noble edition of the Star Wars trilogy of the original 3 movies. And this also has super amazing end papers. Look at that. They're beautiful. I really love that they did this scene for one of the end papers. I honestly think these are just so amazing. I really love it. And it's just like, it stands out and it catches the light in such a unique way. And this is the back cover. I love this. And they also have silver reflective edges. I think this book is super pretty, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so it's fulfilling my inner Star Wars nerd. Okay, the next book was actually a gift from my boyfriend, and it's a very special edition of The Princess Bride, which is one of my favorite books ever. And it comes in its own slipcase. This is the front, and this is the back, and it does have gold edges. It does come with a book plate. This whole book is from a place called the Easton Press if you want to get yourself something nice from there. And it is illustrated as well. The pages are like super smooth, so I don't know if you can see that, but yes, this book is the arrangement that was done by William Goldman. So if you don't know, the original book is actually quite boring, and William Goldman arranged it to be more like the movie, and it's all the exciting parts. So yes, this book is honestly so beautiful. I love it so much. And it was a gift from my boyfriend, so he did a very good job. Just to warn you, the books from the Easton Press all look to the same like degree as this, and they are all expensive. So if you can afford it, you should try it. They have some really beautiful books there. And the next book I'm going to talk to you about is another book from the Easton Press. It's Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, and this is what this one looks like. I love the moon, and you can see it's got gold pages as well. They also come with ribbon bookmarks, and you can hear that crack. This one also comes with a certification of authenticity. Basically, it's the author saying this is her signature that she hand wrote in the book. So that's super cool. Yes, and it is personally signed. So, I mean, it's insane. This is one of my favorite books about witches. And if you haven't, it's also a movie, so go watch the movie. And it's just beautiful. I love this. It's so pretty and it's so amazing. It's even more amazing that it's signed authentically by the author. And you also get this cool note about the story. And the movie is also just as good as the book, so I would go watch it if you haven't. So the next book is a Barnes & Noble special edition of Dracula. And I actually read this last year. You can see it's got these cool bat stenciled edges and a ribbon bookmark. And I did read this last year and I didn't like it. I'm so disappointed that I didn't like the Dracula book. I might give it a reread and see. I think I wasn't paying enough attention, and I think that's like why I didn't like it. This one is also illustrated, if I could find one. I don't think I will, because they're kind of buried in here. Oh yeah, here we go. So this one is also illustrated, and let me show you these end pages. They're gorgeous. This is giving like the gothic horror vibes this book has. And I love this book so much that even though I didn't love the story, I'm totally keeping this just for aesthetic purposes, because we all have those books. All right, and the next one I'm going to be showing you is, oops, sorry, knocked over some books. Gallant by V.E. Schwab, and this is a signed first edition that I got from the Poison Pen. It's beautiful. These are the end pages. They're super pretty, and it is signed as well. I don't know what cover this is. I don't think it's the US cover. I think it's the UK cover, and it is signed as well, which is super cool. But yeah, I love this. I loved this book. This is the one V.E. Schwab book that I've liked, and it was so good. It was so gothic. It was so creepy, and this book is totally beautiful. You can see it does got like the library shrink wrap around it, and I'm so glad that the Poison Pen did that for some of mine, because it gives like that crinkly feeling like when you read it, and I love that. But yes, this book is beautiful and I love it. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the UK cover, although it might not be. Don't quote me on that. The next book is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. He's another one of my favorite authors. I love that he's one of the few male authors who actually writes women well and doesn't overly focus on their appearance. That can get really annoying to read. This is actually the Waterstones edition, and I can't believe I managed to get it, because I had tried buying it after they were all sold out, and then my boyfriend found a copy that someone was selling, and so he bought it for me, and that person shipped it from the UK to the States. So I'm super happy that I managed to get my hands on a copy of this. And it's also signed. It says "Keep Running, Grady." I think that's so cool. Yes, I love this. I loved this book. I think I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. It doesn't have special end papers, sadly. I wish it did. But it does have like a unique cover. The other covers don't look like this. So this is one of my most prized special editions. All right, and the next book is a special edition of, The Children of Blood and Bone. Yes. This came with a poster as well, and it's got this really cool drawing. I chose the fire group logo emblem thing. I read this in college for a class, actually, and you could see it's got those flames on the end papers. And again, it did come with a poster, and I ended up really loving this book when I read it. I need to do a reread once I get the second book so that I can remember everything that happened, but yes, this is one of my like more generic special editions, but I still think it's beautiful. Oh, and it says "Now We Rise" on the back. All right, and next is another Barnes & Noble special edition, which is Dune by Frank Herbert. And it's got these pretty blue pages. I think they're gorgeous. You can't actually see. Oh, there you go. Those are all the tabs I have in it. These are the end papers. Super pretty. Super pretty. I'm so glad that they illustrated one of the sandworms, because I was having a hard time figuring out what that looked like. This is one of my most prized special editions, because I ended up actually really loving this book, and I have the second one and I need to read it. But this one is an all-time fave, and it kind of like sets the bar for science fiction, if you ask me. Next, we have the Autonomy. And this is a very interesting book. I'm not going to say anything, because for those of you who want to read it, you need to find out why it's so interesting on your own. And I'm actually going to do a reread of this book this year, so you'll get to go along for that with me. I'll probably do a special vlog just dedicated to that. And it comes wrapped like this. and I'm always afraid of getting my oily fingerprints on the cover. But this is the cover. I think it's gorgeous, and these are the pages. This is like an all black book with gold embellishments. And then this says, "For our tomorrows are made of our yesterdays," which is actually such an amazing quote. And as you can see, we have a lot of illustrations on the inside pages, which kind of add to the special edition feeling of it. What's interesting about this book is that it's not actually a special edition. Every book comes like this. So yes, I hope the author writes the second one soon, because this one ended on a cliffhanger and I need more from this series. And this is another gift from my boyfriend. Can you believe it? He buys a lot of my books. Oh my gosh. Ladies never settle. The next book is Pan's Labyrinth by Guillermo del Toro. And this one is a different edition. That's not one of the normal ones. I don't think it's a special edition though. This one also has illustrations on every page, which is super cool. It's called Pan's Labyrinth, but the translation from Spanish actually means the labyrinth of the fawn. The fawn is just called Pan, I believe. And this book was so good. This book is also very dark though, so if you are going to read it, just be warned and go look up trigger warnings, please, because there are like quite a few in this book. And yeah, and now I need to watch the movie because I've heard the movie's pretty good. All right, the next one isn't a special edition at all. It's a regular edition. I just think that the cover is so stinking pretty. And it's The Forest of Stolen Girls by June He. There's just something about how this red combined with this detailed flower in black and white and then the blue hair, like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm in love with this cover. I would display it and look at it if I could. And I will. June He is a South Korean author. She also wrote The Silence of Bones. I think that one's a bit more popular than this one. I have Silence of Bones, and I've also read it, and I loved it. So I'm hoping to read this and love this as well. She writes historical thrillers, I believe, with like a touch of fantasy. So yes, and it's super cool seeing all the historical Korean elements in her books, because it's not historical elements that are normally seen in America. And so it's really nice to just read about those and experience a different culture and different history. All right, and the last books are the Ice Planet Barbarians with the redesigned covers. I am collecting these. I have all 4 that are currently out. This is the first one. She's so pretty, and the only one I've read. I've also annotated her. This is the second one, Barbarian Alien. These are also all by Ruby Dixon. I haven't read this one yet, but this cover is gorgeous. I love the animated covers. I think they're beautiful, and I wish every author would do an edition of their book with a cover that had like animated characters on it. The next one is Barbarian Lover. This is, I'll be honest, not my favorite cover, but I still think it's pretty. And this is Barbarian Mine, and I love this cover as well. It's so stinking cute. And yes, these are all considered special editions because they're not the normal cover, and I think they do end up costing like a little bit more. Thank you so much, and that's it. Those are all of my special edition / prettiest books that I own. Drop a comment down below about which one you think was the prettiest, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye!